You ever notice how some people just walk into a room and command respect without saying a single word? It's really not about who's the loudest or who dominates the conversation. Actually, there's a much more powerful, much quieter way to earn genuine respect, and today we're going to break down exactly how that works. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? Think about it. The most respected people you know, they're often the quiet ones. They have this kind of gravity. When they show up, people notice, and when they finally do speak, everyone listens. It's all done without any force. So how do they do it? Let's get into it. We're going to tackle this in 3 simple parts. First, we'll look at the outside, how your silent presence speaks volumes before you even open your mouth. Then, we'll dive into what you do, the language of your actions. And finally, we'll get to the most important part, the inside, that unshakable strength of your character.
All right, let's kick things off with part 1, your silent presence. Because believe me, before you say a single word, you are already telling a story.
I mean, just look at the 2 stories being told here without a single word being spoken. On the left, you've got a story of doubt, right? Head down, shoulders slouched. It just screams a lack of confidence. But on the right, that's a whole different story. It's one of quiet confidence. Standing straight, relaxed shoulders, head up, that naturally earns respect. And there's not an ounce of arrogance to it. It really all comes down to these 3 pillars of presence. First, your body language, which we just talked about. Second, your eye contact. And we're not talking about some intense stare down, but a calm, gentle gaze that says, hey, I see you, I'm here with you. And third, your appearance. Now, this has nothing to do with wearing expensive clothes. Not at all. It's just about being neat, clean, and appropriate for the situation. When you take the time to care for your appearance, you're sending a silent message that you respect yourself. And when you respect yourself, others feel that energy, and they're way more likely to give that respect right back to you. Okay, picture this. You're in a tense meeting at work, or maybe just a chaotic group situation. Voices are getting louder, people are starting to panic, everything's spinning out of control. Now, who's the one person in that room that everyone suddenly turns to? Yep, it's always the one who stays calm. See, reacting emotionally just pushes people away. But a calm, steady presence, it draws people in. It signals a type of strength and control that shouting could never, ever achieve. And this leads us to this awesome concept of powerful silence. It's so simple. You don't have to react immediately to everything. That little pause you take before you respond, that split second where you just breathe and compose yourself, that's where respect is forged. It shows you're not a slave to your impulses. You are in control. Okay, so let's move on to our second section, because this is where it gets real, the language of action. Your presence might set the stage, but it's your actions that write the story of who you really are. I know, we've all heard this a million times, right? But it's a cliche because it's absolutely true. Talk is cheap. Anyone can say anything. People might hear what you say, but they will always believe what you do. Respect isn't given for words, it's earned through consistent action. And here are the real building blocks. And notice, these aren't some grand, dramatic gestures. They're the small, consistent things you do every day. Showing up on time shows you respect other people's time. Keeping your promises makes you reliable. And treating everyone with kindness, that speaks volumes about your character. You don't have to announce these things, you just have to do them. Just think about this for a second. How do you treat the waiter at a restaurant, the person cleaning the office, or the most junior person on your team? When you show genuine respect to every single person, no matter their status, people see that. That right there is the silent proof of your true character.
And here's another powerful action that's totally silent: listening. I mean, really listening. That means putting your phone away, not just waiting for your turn to talk, and definitely not interrupting. When you give someone the gift of your full, undivided attention, you make them feel valued. And in return, they give you their respect. It's that simple.
All right, this brings us to our final and maybe most important section, the strength of character. This is the foundation that everything else is built on. This is your inner core. Man, this comparison is so powerful. Weak boundaries almost always come from a place of needing something from others, approval, validation. But strong boundaries, they come from internal self-worth. You don't have to get into a shouting match. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do when faced with disrespect is to just be silent and calmly walk away. That says more about your value than any angry retort ever could. You know, people respect what they can predict. Are you the same person behind closed doors as you are in public? When people know deep down that your character is solid and consistent, they feel safe with you. That consistency is what builds trust, and trust is the absolute currency of respect. This one is huge. There is so much quiet power in understanding that not every little comment, not every jab deserves a response from you. It takes incredible strength to just let a provocation go, but that level of self-control is something people genuinely admire. Anyone can fly off the handle, but a respected person knows when to save their energy. And when you put all of this together, you arrive at this beautiful state of quiet confidence. It's when you're so comfortable in your own skin that you don't feel any need to prove yourself to anyone. You're not competing, you're not constantly explaining yourself, you just are. And let me tell you, that state of being is magnetic. It earns a deep, lasting respect. So this foundation of character is really built on these simple things. The self-control to not always react, the quiet confidence to just be you, the integrity to own your mistakes with no excuses, and the humility to always be growing in silence, letting your progress do all the talking. At the end of the day, this is the big takeaway. You can't demand respect. You can't force it. You can only inspire it. And it's almost always the quiet sum of your presence, your actions, and your character. And don't ever forget, even when you think no one's paying attention, they are. People see how you handle pressure. They see how you treat others. They see how you react when you fail. Your daily life is a constant, silent broadcast of who you are. The entire journey to earning respect from the outside world really begins with one simple, non-negotiable step. You have to respect yourself first. That inner respect is the source of all the powerful behaviors we've talked about today. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. Right now, in every interaction you have, your silence and your presence are communicating something powerful. What message are they sending about you?